This is the 31st Lap Podcast, recorded live in the studios of FingerLakes1.com in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now, your hosts, Rich Post, John Bonus, Mike Mallet, and Chris Marquardt.
Good evening and welcome to episode number 77 of the 31st Lap. I'm Chris Marquardt. Joining me in the studio tonight, we've got John Bomas, we've got Jay Fish from the Dirt Motorsports Hall of Fame, and of course Mike Mallet. We're going to have to redo that intro because I don't know if Rich is ever coming back. Episode number 77.
I was talking to him the other... Oh, I'm not
big
on.
couple nights of racing.
I'm not either.
We're not...
Wait,
am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
I'm on? I can't hear myself.
Who wants to go first?
Either.
That was weird. I couldn't hear myself.
Can you hear yourself now?
Yeah, now I can.
Make sure you're talking into
What's
your
up,
right
everybody?
What else would I be talking to?
spot. You got to be talking into the dot.
Well,
man.
that depends.
That's
Into the
a
dot?
whole nother
Into the
conversation.
dot? Into
Make
the
sure
dot.
into the dot.
Into the dot.
Into the red zone.
It's fine.
Episode number
No,
77. Can you
Mrs.
believe
Bomas
it?
can hear me.
Pretty cool. Episode
she
number
hasn't listened to us
77.
in like
And
3 friggin' months.
And at long last,
What?
we announced that D'Amico Chrysler-Dodge-Jeep has joined us as a year-long sponsor of the 31st Lap.
That's fantastic.
Surprise.
That is going to be jumping on. That is going to be launching. It's active.
we got-
the first show of July. We've got a one-year partnership with D'Amico Chrysler-Dodge-Jeep. I got my Dodge Avenger from there. My wife got her
We got a
Caliber from there.
Mopar sponsorship?
We got a Mopar sponsorship.
Awesome.
How awesome is that, right?
I hope the old man's tuned in right now.
So we
He'll be
gotta
happy.
we gotta make sure that we give them some recognition. My neighbors, Bill and Jen, they got their Chrysler 200 from there. They've got their Jeep Compass from there. Awesome people over there. Mike Godkin, the world's best car salesman of the world,
Nice.
and Mike D'Amico is probably the world's most understanding general manager of a car dealership. It was awesome to be able to get all that put together this week. It was all rolled in as part of a package. They got they're putting a real big push on Finger Lakes 1, and we're happy to have them as part of the family for the next year.
Yes, absolutely. I drive a Dodge myself. Unfortunately, I didn't buy it there. I did sell it to myself at that time. But, I do drive a Dodge.
It is. I'm pretty excited about it. Mike knew a little bit earlier this week, but we tried to keep it a secret until we could launch it here.
Yeah, he didn't even give me a hint on the way here.
That was awesome.
Peckerhead.
They've been involved in racing and for a long time, right?
Oh yeah, yep. They've had.
I know their name has been around for quite a while.
Oh yeah. They date all the way back into the I believe into the 50s in Geneva, right there on 5 and 20, and they've had the pace truck at Canandaigua in the past. They've had a pace vehicle at Weedsport in the past, so it's really cool to have them on board. You know, it's a long time Mopar family, and of course it's also a long time racing family. So we gotta love that.
Awesome.
And then the other big news last night, Tim McCready picks up the win at Fonda Speedway. Mike was out there.
Yep.
And he was riveted by the late models out there at the track of champions.
I just love late models.
Well, what happened? What happened? Was it just locked down one groove
No,
and they
you
couldn't
know-
go, or
you
what?
know-
Because usually they're pretty good. I said usually.
All I know is I saw the order of starting positions and order of finishes last night. I was home. I was not there. And from what I saw, everybody finished where they started in both races.
The modified
I was a
race,
little disappointed.
The modified race is actually relatively entertaining. I'll say that. It was one of those nights, or I actually went last night as just a fan. So I mean, I had fun. I'm not going to say I didn't have fun. But the late
So
model
you
race.
did actually go.
Yeah, I was there.
I didn't even know you were there.
Yeah, I wasn't
Because
tweeting.
you weren't tweeting.
No, I
You were
refused.
forwarding tweets. I just
Yes,
assumed you were home.
I was
shocked. There was 2 races going on and you were home.
You know what?
3 races
I was,
with Kutztown.
You know what it was? I just wanted to. I want to have a night where I went, hung out with my friends. I sat with my buddy Scott Friars in the stands.
Oh, Scotty, you saw Scotty?
Yeah, I sat with him and we just talked racing, and it was nice. I didn't have to go in the tower and announce. I didn't have to take notes. I didn't have to do interviews. I just went there and I came home.
Was your old man shooting?
No, George was there. George Smith. So
your old man didn't go at all?
Nope.
Really?
So,
wow.
What is up with that?
I know,
so
right?
I just went.
I guess I
had fun.
I was excited about the World of Outlaws being in the neighborhood, and
I think
and Mike was giving me a few. He wouldn't even give me text updates. He texted me back. He goes, "I'm not working tonight," and wouldn't talk to me.
I just assumed you weren't there.
You know, the late model race, it just got extremely locked down on the bottom. I mean, that's the only way to put it. There just wasn't much off the bottom. But the thing is, nobody tried the top. Like the modified race, they were all running the wall. And in the late model race, they all just decided we're going to the bottom, and that's that. And nobody had any guts. I mean, I think Larry White was the only one that got off the bottom and tried to do something, and it just...
That didn't work out, did it?
Just didn't work, no.
He just going backwards?
Yeah, it just didn't work. It just... I don't know. I mean, it kind of stinks. Because I was hoping for a pretty good race. I mean, there were some good cars.
Yeah, you want to see a better show than that because we want them to be impressed to come back.
Ronnie was fine, but he
10 laps in, right?
He pulled in about lap 10, yeah.
I read that this morning and did not say in the write-up what the problem was.
I don't know if he had a problem or what.
That he pulled in. Didn't say
you could
what
tell,
it was.
I mean, he timed well. He timed in the top 10.
Six quick.
But you could tell he was a little
And he'd never been in one before, right?
No.
Never been anywhere near one.
I mean, obviously he's got a home track advantage, but the car is just completely different from what he's used to.
So
it's the moving rear end, the swing out, the whole thing.
Well, it was funny. As soon as the car wanted to come around a little too far, you could see him get uncomfortable and jerk the car back. Because, a late model, it's all the way sideways.
Right.
Where if you get it modified that far,
you're done.
Life's over.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, so it took some adjustment for him to get to that, but,
Did you go anywhere, Jay? Wake up. Jay.
I'm here.
Oh.
I'm just listening to you guys.
Did you go to Can-Am?
I went to neither.
You didn't go anywhere.
You were home?
I went to neither. I had to work.
You went to his couch.
There was actually four racetracks running last night.
So just so
Kutztown
everybody
too.
knows, this is why. Yeah, with Kutztown too. I think there was 4 or 5
4
races.
with
Yeah,
Can-Am.
just so you know, this is why we have no guest because there was races last night all over the place, and everybody's busy tonight. So nobody. Was
they're
really
getting
free.
ready for the weekend.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. I mean, I tried. I pounded the pavement today. Tried getting Rick Laubach, and he was
there. And a bunch of cars are headed up to Brighton for
Brighton's got a late model race.
I know Decker's going up there.
Gil Tegg's going up there.
Is he going up there?
He was in. I think he was in
Greg Oaks' backup car.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So that would be where all of our guests are that we were trying to get.
Rick Laubach.
He
flagged
said
the flag.
he had some. He had to take the girlfriend out. So
who's that? Rick
Laubach. Yeah. He did win last night in New Egypt, so
not a bad.
Yeah,
take
and
for
she
him.
let him go racing last night.
Yeah,
so
that
and he's going to
goes.
go racing all weekend probably.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Because tomorrow I imagine he would be at Georgetown.
Yeah, tomorrow
And
night
then
they race.
obviously Bridgeport on Saturday.
Yep.
On the topic of Bridgeport, all the memorial festivities for Jason Leffler were this week.
Yep. Yesterday, right?
Yep. Wednesday.
Yes, yesterday. Yep.
I guess it was packed.
I'm sure it was.
Oh, yeah.
It was a mob
Sure
scene.
it was. There wasn't a person interviewed, if you watched any racing on television, whether it was NASCAR, even IndyCar, there wasn't a person interviewed last weekend that did not mention,
What happened?
Leffler and the whole
Did you see the
thing.
nationwide?
Even Dario Franchitti commented.
The conclusion of the nationwide race?
Yep.
The winner jumped out and ran over and patted the Leffler sticker on the car. That was kind of cool.
Yep. Kyle Larson finished second.
Yeah, and had a very real shot at winning it.
Yes, he did.
Very
I
real
didn't
shot.
want. Was that Saturday?
Yeah.
Where was I? Oh, Lebanon Valley.
Yep.
How was the Valley?
It was Saturday and
In a car show, if you can't tell from the burned top of my head.
Look at pull up your sleeve, just so everybody can see this.
Oh, do you
Pull
want
your
me to-
sleeve,
you want me to
pull
go?
your sleeve up a
I'll
little
do
so
it.
everybody can see this.
There you go.
Look at. Pull the other one up so they can see a little better. There's a
Okay.
graphic over
You know,
the top.
actually, I take
Look
that
at the
back.
farmer
We're
tan
going
on Mike.
farmer tan.
You know what's
That's
more
wrong.
impressive? You know what's more impressive than the farmer tan?
What?
The hair. Look at that. You got more hair
I know.
on your arm than you do on your head.
Look-
Strong.
McGilla.
I'm fine with it. It happens.
See if you can work on some kind of hair transplant company for another sponsor. To
Yeah,
help
I
hold
know,
them
right?
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to correct myself.
Who'd you go to for yours?
My hair transplant.
Yeah.
Magilla Gorilla Incorporated.
That's genuine J Fish back hair
What,
right
what
there.
was
That's
this?
right.
What was Mr. or McGilla Gorillas? Or no? What was that show there with the monkey in the window in the pet shop?
Oh my! I don't
What the hell
know.
was that?
Are you thinking of?
Mr. People's Pet Shop, right?
I guess more related to what.
How
we're
does
talking
he
about.
know about that? That's what I want to know.
Grape ape.
You want
I'm old. Great babe. That's it.
Great babe.
That's
Is it
it.
really?
Yeah, he used to drive
Mr.
a little
Peebles.
car. Mr. Beagles. Beagly.
I'm old, you know.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know that show at all.
Wait, I got to correct myself about the nationwide race. You know what? They actually ran Sunday because it rained out on Saturday. They were in Iowa and they rained out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it was pushed back to Sunday morning. They ran at 11 o'clock Sunday morning.
Yeah, that's right. I caught the end of it right after.
Because there was a
impressed.
couple of guys.
I'm impressed that I
Logano
missed
was
that.
one of them. Couldn't run the nationwide race because he had to go back to Pocono.
I am disappointed with that I missed it because I enjoy Iowa. That's one of my.
Yes.
I love when the
It's a
Indy
great-
cars are there.
Great facility.
It's a short track for the Indy cars.
Indy cars are
They
there this weekend.
Flying.
They're there this weekend.
Are they?
Yes.
Damn it.
Yes.
Indy cars. Where were they this
Set up your
weekend?
DVR
What am I going to watch it? I'm not going to watch
Sunday
it.
night when you get home.
I won't watch it. As soon as I DVR something, I don't watch it.
It's almost a
whatever,
given,
if it's
right?
A race.
It's
If
a
it's a
guarantee.
race, I'm not watching it.
It's a guarantee not to watch it if you DVR.
Well, I'll watch it and I'll tell you about it later.
You know what? I'll watch it first before you DVR it, and then I'll call you and tell you who won just to piss you off. That's my favorite.
I think
Yeah, that's not cool.
other than football, I can't imagine a very DVR-able sport. I don't think racing is really conducive to.
Yeah, I
DVR.
dare you. I dare
DVR
you to finish
everything,
that. Yeah,
so.
I was. Sorry, Jay. I was going to dare you to finish that sentence, but now you did. The cat's out of the bag. John, go ahead.
I DVR everything.
Go ahead.
Good.
I do.
Tell him about how
What?
you were screaming at people when we did a live show at the Duck Lodge in Seneca Lake because they were talking about the 24
Oh,
hours.
The only guy I know that DVRs 24 hours.
24
Daytona.
hours.
Well, I didn't DVR all of it. I watched all of it live right up until we had to leave to go to the Duck Hunters Club. So while I was gone, I DVR'd the rest of it.
By the
So
way,
I watched the last, 8 hours on.
Pocono was 2 weeks
On
ago
video.
for Indy. Then they were at Milwaukee and then Michigan. I don't know.
What? What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Milwaukee, Pocono, and then Michigan.
IndyCar was at Milwaukee this past weekend.
Okay, there we go.
Pocono's coming up in July.
In Michigan, what was that for? NASCAR? No, where was NASCAR this week?
Wow.
I watched
Was it
the
Michi-
race.
I did too.
Was it Michigan?
Greg,
you know what? It was Michigan. Not
Greg Biffle
Pocono.
won it, right?
That's
Yeah, I mean,
If I got that part right, Greg Biffle.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
Jimmy Johnson hit the wall.
Maybe Iowa was
with
2
like
weeks ago. I don't
5 to
fucking know.
go.
I can't
Yeah.
keep it all straight either.
Darn.
Yeah, Kasey Kahne did the same
After
thing while
a while,
he was
it's a
leading.
blur.
Stuffed her in the fence.
It was not a good
Right
day
front
for
flat.
Hendrick.
No.
Yeah, Casey
yeah.
Look
had
at
a bad day.
Look at
That's
that.
right. He did.
Look at that huge yawn for Mike right there.
Tired, man.
And you didn't even go anyplace last night.
Yeah, I did. I was at Fonda.
You didn't even work anyplace last night.
There you go. You're right. I still got home at 12:30.
Pay no attention.
Yeah. It was 2 weeks ago, by the way, for the nationwide race. They were at Michigan this past
All
week.
right, so I stand corrected.
There you go.
It
Thank you,
all,
Neil.
it all becomes a blur after a while.
Does anybody that's in the live chat want to host this show? 'Cause obviously,
We're not.
we're
We're here.
still just.
I do know there was 2 races last night. Modified races.
Sportsman.
That I know for sure.
And
You know anything
There were
about
2
this? Check out
modified races.
our
last
live
night.
our live chat folks are going to help save the
Oh,
conversation.
good. I like that.
Yeah, good call, Jay.
I like that.
Anybody know anything about the format at Canandaigua Saturday? You got
What
to
about
draw
the
a number.
format?
Twin 25.
draw a
Yeah.
number and give it to
Give
someone
it to
else.
somebody
I'm
else.
going to Canandaigua Saturday, actually.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Twin 25.
Am I gonna see you after that?
Are you going?
I'll be at my house after that.
I'll go to the freaking races, man.
It's Game 6. I'm not missing Game 6.
Big deal.
Game 6 of what?
Stanley Cup Finals.
That's hockey, right?
Whatever.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, the hockey thing in Syracuse is all done.
Yeah,
right?
we're done. I was there.
I saw Dino crying on
I
Facebook
was
this
there.
morning.
Yep.
Dino was pouting on Facebook this morning.
Well,
I figured it had to be
I
done.
watched them lose.
Syracuse was down a couple games. And
They're
they
down
kinda
3-0,
battled it
and
back.
then they came make it 3-2, and then they lost on home ice. Way to go. Can't win one game on home ice in the freaking Calder Cup Finals. Don't get me started.
The prestigious Calder Cup Finals.
Yep. Jay, you live over there?
Yeah, I'm just interjecting when I can. There's a lot of talking going on here. I'm just enjoying it. Jeepers
It's like the
creepers.
silent fourth partner.
I just listened to all the yammering going on over across the hallway here. We're trying to get a word. We're trying to get a word in edgewise.
Yeah, Kutztown, Billy Pouch, in case you didn't want to
Yeah.
know. And then
Billy Pouch
Kyle
Jr.
Lick won the 600s. Yeah.
Yep, Kyle Lick won the 600s again.
Becca Anderson is going to the Knoxville Nationals.
With what?
The 19 Woodring. It's got to be Woodring if it's a 19 car.
Yeah, you presume.
Wow.
Hodnett will be in the 39.
She hasn't raced the
now.
last couple of years, right?
The thing is Jay's
Has
4
she?
words. The 4 words that Jay said just contributed more than Rich did in the last 3 weeks.
See,
Warm
body.
Rich put something up about doing family stuff or something this weekend. Or Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Busy with the kids today or something. I said, "Oh, another birthday party."
Did you comment on it?
Another birthday party.
Poor
Wait a
Rich.
minute, it's not Thursday.
Yeah, I know. I gave him a little bit of crap.
Did we have a live show that I missed?
Yeah, live show from his birthday party.
oh my,
That's what we should have
That's
done.
what we should do.
Speaking of Rich, he's all excited this week. He's happy.
Why?
Well, I had a pair of tickets to give away through the Fantasy League for Brett Hearn's big show,
Nice.
5 at Malta. And guess who won them?
I think it's fixed.
Brian
I
Simple.
drew.
John Bomas.
I literally draw a team. I got all the teams in a box, and I draw a team out, and it happened
I
to
did
be
what-
Outside Groove Racing. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
that's awesome.
But I can't throw it back in just because it's Rich. He won it fair and square, and
Well,
so I texted him, make sure he could use them because I know it's a haul for him to go to Malta. he I guess he said, hold on, give me like a half an hour.
AKA got SOS.
He got right back to me like, yeah, he had to ask the missus. He got back to me in like 10 minutes. He said, it's all a go. We're going to go and use them. I'm like, all right,
That's awesome.
good for you.
Good deal.
I was sure you were going to say Brian Sipple won him. Sure you were going to say. Sure, I'd have put money on it. Brian Sipple won him.
Well, now I gave away I drew the winner for the tickets to the World of Outlaw late model show next week at Canandaigua.
June 25th.
And the dude that won him, after I already gave Jeremy Corcoran the guy's name, so he's going on the will call list, he gets a hold of me last night and says he can't go. I'm like, you should have told me that last week when I drew your name and gave it to Jeremy. So now I got 2 tickets that he can't use, and they already got his name. I don't know if I can get it switched and draw another one. It might be too late, and I don't want to bother Jeremy with that crap either. He doesn't need that, So I don't know. I'll figure it out. I hate to see him not be used.
Yeah. What's the format? Canandaigua. That was a question. That came up.
Yeah.
Are they doing like the revenge
have a pill draw?
All I know is it's 2 point shows.
It's
two
two regular
point shows.
Yeah, full point shows. Twin features. You draw a number, and then you give that number to somebody else.
The second feature or the first feature?
Sure.
Where is it? Hold on.
And I guess the question would be, you draw a number like the whole field, or are we talking top 12, top 10?
No, hold on. I'm trying to see if I can
I think
find
they
it.
ought to let everybody draw.
I like when they do that.
I'm on Canandaigua
Me too.
Motorsports
You draw
Park
for another
.com.
driver.
The revenge draw.
Yep, I dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the name.
But they ought to
Yeah.
let everybody draw.
That'll probably take some time.
What is this? A
Pay
sixer?
no attention.
The entire field draws.
Yes.
The whole field.
That's what I love about that race.
All right, I'm looking.
Look at one of the questions in live chat just came up. Aaron Hernandez, guilty or not? He's guilty.
When you destroy your cell phone and you destroy the
Was
video
that the
evidence.
football guy?
Yeah.
Put me on the- put me
sure
on the
looks
jury.
bad. Sure looks bad.
What did he do?
Where's this thing about?
Allegedly, he
where's
shot
this-
someone.
Where's the draw thing coming up from?
It's
I'm on the website looking for it. I can't find it. I see that Tony Stewart's coming on July 16th.
yeah, that's the day
260
before.
smoke
They
shootout.
Day
rebooked.
before, yeah.
They rebooked him,
That's
which is
the
cool.
day before Fulton and then Fonda.
Yep.
Fulton with Kasey Kahne and
And Tony.
Yep.
and Tony. Yep,
And who knows who else should show up?
that's
You could see. You never know. You might see
Yeah.
Delaney or something. You never know.
Let's see.
Is that the? It's the COCs out there. All Star Circuit of Champions.
Yes.
Yes.
It's an all-star show. Yep.
They had a hell of a show at Brewerton a year ago, and I think
Tim Schaefer won.
I think the move to Fulton is pretty wise because they
Were packed.
yeah, they straight up ran out of seats and had
Yeah.
people standing in the infield.
Yeah,
at Brewerton.
Tony Stewart.
Yeah, they'll have more room at Fulton.
Sally Mae just filled us in. It's going to be the lead lap cars, draw a number, then give it to somebody else.
Oh, that's cool.
Basically,
where's that information?
How's she doing with her loan business?
Wow.
Wow. Nice banking reference. Good one, sir.
We
Well,
We
that's
could've laughed, but
that's
I'm
what happens
pretty
when
sure-
you used to sell cars.
I'm pretty sure that's who my school loans are through. Sally Mae.
Probably. Well, most of them are.
Sally Mae, Nellie Mae, one of them.
College loans are mostly through
yeah
Sally Mae.
yeah, and good luck paying those off, man.
Actually, mine
still-
aren't too bad.
I still got mine.
Yeah, mine aren't bad. I only got $3,000 to go.
We just today we closed on refinancing our house so we can put a roof on.
I did that 2 weeks
Oh,
ago.
good
yeah.
deal.
Yep, we closed on that. So
You-
a very fitting.
You
Sally
need a
Mae.
roof over your head?
Indeed. Yes.
Nice.
And it's haunted.
Yeah.
It
It
is.
is haunted as the day is long.
What were you going to say? You just pointed at me.
I just did a good job with the Sally Mae banking reference. That's all.
Big
Strong.
Yeah.
Motor Media
Strong. Timely.
Facebook page.
That's timely.
Back to the old, car sales days at
Yeah.
Sally Mae
Yeah, right.
and all those lovely banks.
I never. I thought I was at a
Capital
book signing, man. The last time I signed my name that many times was in 2006 when I bought the house.
Oh,
it was
God,
crazy.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, signing this. Oh, my
Sign your
God.
life
It's awful.
away.
Yeah, the lawyer kept saying, sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here. And he goes, you should have brought your stamp. I'm like, I don't have a stamp. I'm not a lawyer.
That's right. only lawyers have stamps.
So Big Motor Media's got the press release.
I'm
on
looking
that.
right now. I don't
Yeah.
see it.
What are you looking for?
He's looking for the
The
press release to
Canandaigua
give that
deal?
breakdown. I mean, it's kind of cool.
You're
that-
still trying to find
It's kind of
that?
cool they're going to do
What
that.
else?
But if,
Sunshine, she's got all the answers.
well, she doesn't listen to the show anymore.
Oh,
She
my.
dumped us. I mean, long story short, if they're only
better-
letting lead lap, if
You better
they're-
text her.
yeah, okay, I'll fire one off here as soon as we get to the break. If they're only letting lead lap cars redraw, I mean, it's kind of cool, but if that thing goes green to checker, you're not going to have a whole lot of people redraw, and it's going to be kind of an instant replay for the second 25
No,
lapper.
you're saying if it's possibly lead lap drivers draw and it goes green to checker, you're not going to lap a lot of cars in 25 laps. It's only you got to remember it's only 25.
Yeah, well, you're right. Yeah, I
you're
wasn't
not going
thinking
to
about
lap a
that
lot of
part.
cars.
Yeah.
And if it goes green to checker, that means there was not a lot of attrition. You could have most everybody has a lead lap.
Yeah.
Whereas there's yellows, you're going to get guys maybe because there's wrecks or breakdowns. So then you'll have attrition where there won't be a lot of lead lap cars. You might be better off with a green ejector,
right?
To be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Jay, what do you think? What do you think of redraws as a whole? I mean, when they do the redraws and you take your heat finishers and you kind of try and shuffle the field that way.
Love it.
Yeah,
yeah. I love it. I like the whole concept of adding that element of the shuffle in there and some kind of randomness to the whole thing. You know
what I think they should do in the Super Dirt Series is get rid of that redraw, go to passing points.
I do too.
That's for sprint cars.
Idiocy.
I know what he's trying to do. I'm all for it. Let's go.
Stupidness.
If I ran my own series, that's what it would be.
And then 2 cars would show up.
Wow.
And
really?
4 fans because nobody would want to pay attention to that.
If you put up the money, they don't care how the hell they get in the future.
No, they do. I know drivers that don't go to Race of Champions races because they have to draw.
Yeah, I know drivers who won't race without a roof over their head too. But I'm not going to bring up any names.
What?
Nothing.
What? That's sort of.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's over your head.
Inside jokes are always fun on a podcast.
Actually, it's not really an inside joke. I'm just trying to get back at him.
Oh.
I'll tell him later. I don't want to.
Here we go.
I don't want to bring up.
We stirred something up. Time trials, are they necessary on the Super Dirt Series? We got Berks County saying no, do not need time trials. I don't know. Do they? I mean, the pill draw would probably make it more interesting if they just simply drew for heat position.
Don't they? With time trial shows, don't you?
No, you're seated
do they
based
draw
on
how you come out anyway?
They draw how you come out, but
you're still drawing when you come in.
Yeah, but I mean,
no. Here's how it works.
If Billy Decker time trials 73rd out of 75 cars, he's still going to be in the top 10 in speed. I mean, it's just a given.
No.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is.
If he times,
if he's
73rd out of 75 cars, he's going to start back of his heat race.
Right.
No,
but he's
no,
saying,
no.
No, he's saying if he comes out as the 73rd car on the track, he will still time in the top 10. Not necessarily.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I can tell you this. In terms of,
if
we're talking time trials, you go to like a sprint car race, and their time trials, the track will slow up about a half a second to 3/4 of a second.
Which is normal for any dirt track.
Right, but
yeah, that's
a guy comes out after like 20th. Good luck timing fastest.
Right. And a lot of it depends on the weather. If it's a hot 95-degree sunny day, it's
like
going to be
all
worse.
the races
now,
at Rolling Wheels,
if it's 65
when
and
they
it's
time
overcast,
trial
it's
at
not going to
4:30?
affect it as much. It's still going to be affected, but not as much.
Yeah, but
so
it's
a lot
still
of it depends on the weather. How many cars are there? Are there only 25 cars, or are there 50 cars?
I think they should go just to straight heats and eliminate the time trials, but it's more money for the drivers because they can get a sponsor on it.
I know a lot of people don't like time trials. No. I don't mind it so much.
I think the whole time trial thing. I mean, at least now they, somebody mentioned here they do it in a group.
Yeah, the group time trialing is a good thing. They run
2 sets per heat.
It kind of keeps everybody happy. You still get time trials, and then the people who hate them.
Right, and then you redraw. I believe you redraw in the order of the top. What is it? The top 2 in the heat go to the redraw, or the
right?
Because it's basically like another hot lap session.
Yeah, so the top 2 from the heat race go to the redraw, and then you redraw in the order you finish. So winner of heat 1. So after time trials are done, your time is pretty much moot. It's not like sprint cars or late models where your
time trial.
Your male.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
what's
time
the word
trial,
I'm looking for?
You're married to that thing the rest of the night.
That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
One bad lap and you're screwed. Yeah, Neil Wilt brings it up. We talk about Knoxville. When you go out there, if you time like crap, you might as well just pack it up.
Yep.
I mean, now they fixed it so Friday night is different. I don't know if they're using the same format again, but they've made it so if you screw up on Friday, you can, or if you screw up on one of your Wednesday or Thursday, you can go back in time again on Friday and try to race your way in.
Good luck. Good luck with that too.
Well, the thing is, they're taking like the top 4 from
that's
the
like going to,
and giving them a spot into the feature.
That's like going to Constellation Heat G at the Chili Bowl. Good luck, right?
Did you say consolation?
Yeah, he didn't even know it. Yeah.
What is a consolation heat
event?
I knew what you meant.
It's the G main.
I knew what you
meant.
It
would be a G main, and there would be 2 of those, by the way.
Yeah.
Not just 1, 2.
Damn it! What am I doing over here?
You're drop kicking the camera.
I'm kicking the camera. You know what it is? I got to pee. That's the problem.
Will you leave that thing alone?
I got to go to the bathroom.
I'm talking about the camera, by the way.
Wow.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Well, keep doing that. You're going to go blind. Hairy palms.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna. Do we have a commercial
I
yet?
was
Are we
told he
gonna have
doesn't
a
have
commercial?
very good aim.
Once we get to the first show in July, we're gonna have 2 20-second live drops that we'll have to do.
Nice.
For D'Amico. Yeah.
Very cool.
I'll do the first one. You can do the second.
Nice.
I like that very much.
All
Unless
right.
Jay wants to do them. He'll put on. Jay has this weird thing where he'll have.
Well, as soon as we leave here
there's-
tonight, Jay's gonna get him on the phone and be like, "Hey, I run the Dirt Motorsports Hall of Fame. So you like spending money on motorsports?"
I have a fantasy league too.
That's called marketing synergy.
What a free oil change.
That's called marketing synergy.
All right, I'm taking a 5-minute break here. I'm gonna be
Jay.
like,
Watch your chords.
The fun part about Jay is there's conversational Jay and then there's radio voice promotional
That's
Jay.
right.
Where all of a sudden he like goes into this weird over the top radio voice.
It's called to work. You got to work it.
There goes Mike. Mike's limping off to the.
It's called to work, man.
I think Mike's got to be just about done with school.
Well,
Tomorrow's Melissa's last day.
Crying out loud,
She's
the
all
guy's
done.
30 years old.
He's getting there, I think. Well, he's got to be done because he's going to be gone all next week.
Yeah,
so.
I know, right? Yeah. If tomorrow's not the last day, it's going to be his last day anyway.
I know he did tell me today that he did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, well,
Watched the movie,
I mean,
and I don't know what else.
pretty
he did.
much most teachers are kind of in that
Right
that
now, they're in
cleanup
that mode,
phase.
yep.
Yeah.
They're just waiting. They're waiting as patiently as the kids are to get the hell out.
Yeah. Well, there's no kids now. I mean, they're all in grading mode at Geneva.
Right.
I don't know how Oswego's.
Yeah, depending on your grade, I suppose too. Probably.
Sure.
No, grading. They're just like finalizing tests and
Right,
getting
but
all
I
the
mean-
last bits of paperwork and stuff together. But the students are gone. There's no students left. And I don't know what Oswego's got, but I know Geneva's. Yes, today was their second to last, and tomorrow's the last day for teachers, and then they're done.
Right.
And they're putting in some AC units on the third floor.
Oh.
So they were going to begin that construction Monday. So all the technology department is still in cleanup mode. They started ripping tiles down. There's dust and stuff everywhere. There's smart boards that are getting all full of dust. Computers haven't been put away. It's like, oh boy,
Yeah, they got a lot of crap to do in a short time.
Yeah, they got about 48 hours to finish up what they got to clean up.
Wow. They still do the Iowa tests?
The what?
Iowa testing?
I remember those.
Yeah.
Now that you say that,
It's like
I
a
kind of remember those.
Statewide, standardized testing for the little
I remember
Iowa
those.
pumpkins.
Oh yeah,
Vaguely.
Yeah, well, I don't know what they call them now, but I know what you're talking about.
It's been a long time since
There was a great Facebook post. A pro, I guess maybe a pro teacher, I guess is the way to call it. Post on Facebook about those standardized tests for an 8-year-old kid. They build them up. You're great. You're going to do fine, stuff like that. And then they get into the test, and you got to make the poor kids sit still for 3 hours. And they got to go through these exams, and basically, the outcome of this test tells you if you're smart or not.
Well, then they give you multiple choice.
Yeah,
and there's always like there's
Scantron.
3 answers that are like could go that way, and then there's only one correct answer.
Yep.
It's like,
Yep.
what do I put? And you just start circling.
It's a lot of pressure for anybody.
I feel bad for those poor little guys that got to go through that. Guys and gals both.
Got to separate the survival of the fittest.
Yeah, I don't miss
Survival of the fittest.
I don't
Wow,
miss.
come on, man.
Hey, we
It's
can't-
It's a little eccentric, isn't it?
The world needs ditch diggers too, bro.
I don't
Yeah,
miss
we can't
I'm not
be
going to
lawyers.
do that.
going
We're not
through,
allowed to be lawyers and doctors. Look at us.
going
Look at
through
us sitting in
tests
this
and all
room.
that crap. Oh,
Sweating our
good Lord.
Look at us sitting in this sweaty room with
Yep.
shower curtains behind us.
yeah, it's funny. You come in the wintertime and it's freezing.
Yeah, Mike. Jim invested in this new backdrop for you, and you didn't say anything about it.
I don't pay attention.
He invested in it at the dollar store.
It was terrible. It was $2 at Walmart.
Wow.
Looks like he got that from the $1.98
brutal.
show.
Yeah,
Brutal.
it's a lot nicer than the one. It looks like now it's like what, like
I kind of dig the blue. It's like a
He could
It
have
looks like,
he could
bubble
have
wrap.
gotten the wrinkles
looks like
out
bubble
of it.
wrap.
a rubber lap. I think it looks like what is it? Diamond
Pool.
plating.
Pool
Yeah,
cover?
it
Is
does.
that right? Metal
Now that
diamond
you
plating.
say that, yes.
Yeah,
That's early
He-
90s pool cover.
He could have gotten the wrinkles
Yeah.
out of it though.
yeah. I could have ironed it and melted it right through. Man. So,
It is plastic, isn't
and I
it?
was thinking while I was going to the bathroom
What were you thinking about?
Oh, boy.
is depend
How you
you're-
probably are going to die in that elevator?
Do we want to
no,
hear this?
No, it's not bad. I don't think about in the bathroom what you think about in the bathroom. So
I don't stay in there very long.
Well, that's your problem.
Okay, I got to stop. We got
You brought it
back
up.
on topic.
You brought it up.
We're talking about time trials.
You're
Yeah.
going to go
I think it
blind.
all depends on what class of cars or what group of drivers you're trying to cater to.
Yep.
If you're going to run time trials or passing points, you're catering to the big money teams and those things. And if you're doing the low buck deal, you're going to do the draw because then everybody's got the same shot, regardless of the money you're spending and so on and so forth. I don't know. That was an epiphany I had on my elevator ride down.
Yep.
It's such a long ride, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Probably should have changed that for you before you went and
rub my nose.
mashed your nose
It's
all
all right.
over the place.
Just call it a Jim Boeheim. Anybody watching Syracuse basketball? They always put the camera on him and he's picking his nose. I'm just itching mine. That's like allergies or something.
I think the cameramen all take bets on who
Like,
can
who
catch
can
him.
get the nose pick?
Yeah.
Like, who's getting it? Who's the money shot?
Did the photographers do that at the racetracks?
Try to get people picking their nose.
Well, I mean,
No,
any,
Jake
embarrassing,
he
any
tries
embarrassing
to
shot.
get crack
I mean,
shots. That's what he's going for.
Not a crack.
Do you look for people knuckle deep in their nose?
Yeah, if it happens, it's a wonderful thing.
Nice.
If it happens, that's the money shot.
That's the money shot.
Is that what you're doing when you missed the Jimmy Phelps shot?
Ooh.
Wow.
Whoa.
Man.
Oh, by the way, I have that picture as my screensaver.
It's a pretty good shot.
If it was Dwayne Howard, you'd be crying.
Yeah.
Oh, that wouldn't even be freaking funny.
Yeah, exactly. See? Anybody else, it's funny.
Yeah.
Aaron
No,
here-
not anybody else.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever met somebody who's as loyal to the drivers as John is. I mean, John's role when
John is a homer.
yeah,
Why?
John is.
Dude,
There's no doubt.
Once I become a fan, I am full bore.
Excuse me for talking about it. You're interrupting. I was even trying
Full-
to compliment you this time.
Full bore.
Homer.
Yeah, that's no lie. I mean,
Go ahead.
John has got to be one of the most devout fans. If you're lucky enough to have John in your corner, he is dedicated to your corner. And by the way, John,
Right or wrong?
John, yeah. Well, that is.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
I've
Oh my
had-
God, yeah.
Over
That
the
is
years-
so true.
No,
You
over the
are-
years, I've had some drivers make some stupid moves, and I'll be the first one to admit it.
After a lot of prodding.
No chance.
no.
Bull crap. You are a homer and you're blinded by your
I don't even know what that
affinity.
means. The
That
only Homer I
means-
know is a cartoon.
Don't.
I don't even know what that means.
You don't know what that means? Jay, can you enlighten him, please?
A homer, somebody who's like so in bed with their own particular
Yes.
player, team, favorite, something
Thank
like
you.
that. They can't see. They have blinders.
No, that's called a fan.
No. It's called homer.
No, that's called a fan.
Because no matter what your favorite drivers do, it's okay. If Dwayne Howard wrecks half the
No,
field at
that's
Grandview,
not true. No, if he
Bull
literally
crap.
wrecked a half a field, I would be pissed off just as much as the next person because I don't
Listen,
want
this
my
is wh-
drivers doing that. I don't like.
whatever.
I don't like guys that do that kind of crap.
So Kyle Larson dumps a guy to win at Daytona, and that was okay.
And I never said it was okay that he did it.
But he justified it.
Right.
Because it was Daytona.
Oh, it's the last lap of the race. He's got to win.
No. I never said that. And this is where you're putting words in my mouth. I never defended him spinning the guy out.
I defended him trying to win.
I defended the fact that people were just killing him immediately following that race when
Right.
he really didn't deserve it.
Yep.
It didn't
No, he
warrant.
did.
It did not warrant
he
that
did.
because he doesn't have a history of that. Give the kid a break.
He did. He took him out.
which
He
is
did take him out, but give the kid a break.
but it's
That was really the first time he was in a national spotlight.
Hold on.
I
I
don't-
do my John impression.
I don't
wait.
I don't condone
it.
it, but at the same time, I don't think I really mind it. It's racing. You know what I mean? It's probably what.
But
I
are
mean,
you so devout that you would justify a dumb move?
I
for
never
your driver?
justified that he
I'm
that
just
he
taking
did it.
Yeah.
This is a question for
I-
Jay. Thanks though.
I could see a situation where I probably would.
Yeah.
Be that devout towards something. I'm not sure exactly what it is yet, but I haven't found it yet. But I'm sure there's probably at some point in my life where I've done it in the past. Just can't remember it. Maybe I'm denying it. Maybe I'm in denial that I've done it. But I'm sure there's a driver out there that I've got blinders on for, and they've done all kinds of ridiculously dirty crap. Oh, okay, Jimmy Phelps, right?
Go on.
I should photographers.
Go on.
There's
If
a
you're
little.
gonna go there.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a
no.
there's a bit of a fraternity in the infield when photographers are all working together. Some guys really like certain drivers, other guys really like others. So, for some reason, everybody is trying to convince me that Jimmy's a super dirty driver. I don't know if we're buddies or whatever. I've just
I've
known him
never
for a
seen
while.
that.
I've been friends with his brother for an awfully long time. His brother Mike, who's been on his pit crew since they were both kids and stuff like that. I don't know if that might cloud my judgment or impair the way that I view a race that Jimmy's involved in, because everybody out there claims that he's a dirty son of a gun. But I always miss it. I must be
I will
checking
say,
my camera. Or
I'm
something
not
he
the
doesn't.
world's biggest Jimmy Phelps fan. I think most people probably know that already, but I don't. I've never seen where he's been a dirty driver. I mean, if anything, he's one of the cleanest.
Yeah.
I mean, he even took a swim to get clean. So
Well, oh wow, jeepers! He's got a
You know what's
million
funny?
today, don't he?
John was saving that for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's been sitting on
He's
that.
like, that's the most creative thing I've come up with in 6 years.
That is fantastic. Well, bravo to you, John.
Yeah,
Bravo.
John is celebrating a bit of an anniversary. This
But you
is
know what,
right
though?
About the same
I mean,
time
Jay-
he started coming to the show.
Jay,
It was
you
this time.
listen.
It was
You listen to anybody. All
like
drivers
March
hate every
of
other
last year.
driver.
Yeah,
Oh, was it?
They all say that guy's
You're
dirty, this
close.
guy's dirty, that guy's this, whatever.
The thing in these guys that I'm talking about, they're Fuller,
it really
they're
March?
Tim Fuller fans.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
So
I mean,
anything that Jimmy does is total shirt, and it's pretty funny. It's actually
It's entertaining.
It is.
Yeah.
We'll stand
My
there both
time
having
flies.
at Brewerton, and they're good guys, so it's not
Hey,
like a
must be having
legit
fun.
fight.
So Larson flipped over a car after doing a wing celebration?
No, he got a win, and then he flipped
Yes.
the car and stood on the Nerf bar after he flipped
okay.
it. So instead of melting down the
Opening-
engine, he flipped the car.
Opening night of midget week.
Okay.
He won on the final lap, beat Tracy Hines, which we talked about it last week
Okay.
on the show.
You must have said the word midget and I tuned you out.
He well, usually you do.
I get a kick out of it.
He
I
did.
never,
He started to do his normal
Donuts?
steering wheel
Right.
outside the top of the cage, and as he did, he got the first one in, and the thing flopped over on its side. So he hurriedly climbed out and then stood up on top of the cage
Nice.
as it was laying on its side with the steering wheel in his hand.
That's
whatever.
fantastic.
What's this Neil Witt's talking about? ESS at Oswego?
I don't know. I think it'd be cool. We've tested there before. You were there for that, weren't you?
Yep.
With Stelter
Yeah,
and
you talked about that test last week.
Doug and Emery. Yeah, it was
Doug
fun.
Emery.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Oswego's a cool place for sprints. You know,
Yeah.
I saw the full sprints run there. The asphalt guys that ran there. I don't know what the name of the tour is. It was like the
Must see racing.
Must see racing.
Well, yeah, the must see. That was the
Watch them
410s.
today.
Yep.
Those guys are hauling the mail. I saw them at Shangri-La too. Holy crap!
That was the night after the Oswego show.
No, the day before.
Day before.
Yeah.
And they had broke the track record at
Oh
Oswego.
yeah, they're gonna break the record everywhere.
Wherever they
I
go.
mean, they're
Well,
just stupid fast
for the first time.
Yeah.
And the supers are awfully quick because I think it was a companion piece to the wing.
Well, they were trying.
supers.
They were trying to get the supers to. Then they put some gumbo tires on the supers and try to get them to go out and see if they could get close. But there's no way. I mean, the sprint car was so light.
Yep. Yeah.
Especially up there, But
It was a blast to watch that. Not tons and tons of cars, but plenty of speed. And that's
yeah,
all you need
yeah,
on a show like
yeah.
that.
They also had they had the Buckeye State 305 group there before too. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that. I heard they were pretty good too. The
That
speeds.
was a few years ago now. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oswego. I haven't been up there since. Didn't they have wings this weekend? Right.
No, they're off this weekend.
No, but they had wings last.
Oh, last weekend. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. This coming
Missed
weekend
it.
they go quiet as.
Yeah, we were at Lebanon Valley.
Oswego's not running this week.
Oswego goes
Nope.
dark, as does Fulton.
Wow, both
Fulton's
tracks.
off? Oh, it's
That's-
graduation weekend. That's why.
Yes, sir.
Is that a
that's
lot of tracks do
It's
that.
kind of funny that
Black Rock
both
did it
of
a
those
couple
tracks
weeks
are so close to one another. They're both not racing Saturday.
Well, with graduation, it's a pain right now.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
I'm sure it is,
Black
especially
Rock
as
hasn't
we
done
go
it
to
yet.
college.
Black Rock's got a funky schedule this year anyway. It's a
Funky.
little early for graduations.
Well, if you didn't live in New York, you'd be graduated for like 3 weeks now.
Oh,
We were talking about that while you were gone.
they're testing and all that, right?
Tomorrow is tomorrow your last day?
I'm done at 9:30 in the morning.
That's
What do you
wonderful.
mean you're done at 9:30?
I'll be getting up then.
At 9:30 a.m., I have to wave to my principal, and I'm out the door.
Oh, so you got to be there for a minimum of 2 hours.
I
and
have
you're
to
out?
go in and wave, do my thing.
Then school's out for summer.
School's
Do you guys
out
play that song as teachers? Is that part
forever.
of the deal? Do you guys?
No, I just walk out and we're going to play golf, so that'll be entertaining.
Oh, cool.
Where are you playing up there?
Battle Island.
Yeah.
Fulton.
Ooh.
That'll be the worst thing. I haven't picked up a golf club in like 2 years. Actually, usually I play really well for the first 9 holes. And then by the second 9, all the bad things I used to do when I played golf every week comes back. And then I get bad again.
So you relearn your bad habits.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Muscle memory finally catches up to me. So,
I've never had good habits when it comes to golf.
I suck at golf.
Terrible.
Yeah.
God, it's freaking. It's an
What has
abomination.
been some other topics that have been going on this week? Like, there's been so much racing that's going on.
Been a lot of racing.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Been a
been,
lot of racing.
Races.
we get more crate motor protesting. Shocker. It's like the
Wow,
nonstop.
that's never going to end.
The shocker.
I did like the.
That'll go on forever.
I did like the
Good call, Jay.
the idea of the seal with the wire and the tag number. You've ever seen that? I think that's what ESS does.
Yep.
There's like a barcode on it, and if that's broken, that motor's illegal. So that stops you from getting the bolts from
hmm
a host of others. Yeah, we all know that deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Makes sense. The only way to really police that deal, and it's a way to kind of keep it the integrity of the
Yeah, you have 2 guys rebuild them, and then you have it sealed with that seal with the barcode number on it.
Nice.
Is there anybody else coming for Speed Week? Is there any big names coming out?
I think is Larson
For
running Speed Week?
Ohio?
Brady Bacon's running.
Brady Bacon's running starting Sunday. He's got to run. He's going to miss the first 2 shows tomorrow and Saturday because tomorrow and Saturday he's got a USAC sprint deal he's got to fulfill. But he'll be picking up Ohio Sprint Week on Sunday, and then he'll be there all week. I would fully expect. I haven't seen anything in print, but I would fully expect to see Kyle Larson.
I'm pretty sure that was part of the deal.
At least the early week
part of the
shows.
week. So when we're out there,
Yeah,
because we're leaving Monday morning, and then we'll be out there Monday, Tuesday.
I would be shocked if he wasn't there.
Thursday, Friday,
because there's really nothing else after his nationwide race on Saturday. That he's got going on. So
right. You'll get the usual.
I
I'm wondering if Lance Luis goes out or any of those guys.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see Smoke show up somewhere.
Yeah,
he's been.
He did last year. I believe he ran last year a few of the shows. Didn't he? I'm pretty sure he was there because I remember the hoopla.
Yes, he was there. He was at
Fremont.
He was at Sharon for the Blaney's.
Was he at Fremont? I thought he was at Fremont. He was at Sharon.
He was at Sharon.
He was at Fremont too.
I know he was at Sharon.
And we didn't get to see Lima Land because it rained out.
Right.
Well, it tornadoed out.
But he wouldn't be at Lima Land anyway because it's on Friday.
Tim Kading, according to Neil Wilt. I like that too. TK. It's a good one. From San Jose,
He's been
California.
traveling a lot this year.
Yep.
And this part of the country instead of the West Coast.
Right. And then
he's had a lot of success. He's won more outlaw races, I think, than anybody.
Yeah, I know. I think didn't Shots pass him this week with the
he might have because he
got
swept.
those, the double
5 or 6 or whatever.
But going into this past weekend, he was like the wins leader on the outlaw circuit. And he doesn't even follow the deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of late model, Shots will be in a late model.
Yeah, he's running up home, right? Up by his house.
NDRL late model series.
Oh, is he?
Yep. So
yeah.
he'll be pulling
Up in
double,
North Dakota?
Yeah.
Nice.
He'll be pulling double duty when the World of Outlaws are at that track.
Good for
That'll
him.
be interesting.
Yeah.
Now that's two totally different styles.
Dude's got a ton of talent, but he's
very different.
So in tune with a sprint car.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how he fares.
Yep.
You can't argue with his talent.
Mike,
I'm not a shots guy. But you can't argue with the talent.
You know what that
sprints.
could do to the World of Outlaws? If he opens the door and has success there, you know what kind of crossover that could lead to? Instead of being sportsmen up to the 360s, it could be sprint car drivers into the late models.
Never happened. These late models suck.
Wow.
Tell you, late model deal, the last few years, boy, that's the one series that's very strong, and there's money to be made there.
There's money. There's a lot of big money shows.
There's a lot of big money shows.
A lot of big money.
And they're all over the country. And sprints too. I'm not saying it isn't.
There's a ton of money in that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it isn't. But boy, that late model stuff. There's a lot of shows you can hit.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, because you've got two extremely strong national tours that both support big purses that sanction big shows, and then you've got all the independent stuff that goes on.
And there's a ton of independent stuff.
And there's
and then
like you said, you got the NDRL. There's other series that are even smaller that every once in a while have a show that's big
like Carolina
that is on an
Clash
off
and
night.
things like that, right? Yeah.
And then you got the Hell Tour and all that stuff.
Because it's so well supported by your weekly racers. Because there's 6 million guys who run late models throughout the South and Southeast, and there's a bazillion of these guys who you'll never hear of, but if the Outlaws go to their town or the Lucas Oil Tour goes to their town, they're ready to jump on it and try to take that cheddar, and that's pretty cool stuff to watch.
Yep.
Yeah, a couple of interesting, funny topics here. Neil brought up know how to soak your tires and not get caught with a late model. Andy Bichetti.
There was an issue with that at the beginning of the year. That's for sure.
That might have come up.
Late models nationally make more money. Oh, I'm sure. Well, there's more late model racing. I'd agree with that.
Well, we've talked about that before about the volume of IMCA or EMOD or whatever you call in the Midwest. Their modifieds are those IMCA style cars. Or
there's
UMP
money there
or
too.
IMCA.
Yeah.
And then same thing with the late models. They have a huge contingent in central United States, southeastern United States. Then behind that you've got the 360 and 410 sprint car contingent, and our style modifieds are isolated only to Ohio,
regional.
Ohio, maybe Pennsylvania, New Jersey,
Eastern Ohio,
New York,
Western PA.
Yep.
And then the two provinces in Canada.
Right.
When
it's
I talk
regional,
and the money for the Western PA guys is nothing like with the guys. Here
like the BRP Mod Tour. They have
what do they pay $1,500?
They have a dozen races a year or whatever on their schedule, but it's very small payouts. It's like $1,500 to win. And
I know I was talking to I think I mentioned this before, Brian Swartzlander, about what they make. They get like $1,100 or something like that to win a modified race at Lernerville.
And I just don't see how those guys can afford to do it.
It's like anybody else. Somebody else pays the bills.
No.
Or you like spending money.
Well, that's why they don't go a lot of places either.
Right.
They stick to that region, and
they go to two races. And if you look, there's two tracks that run big blocks out there. It's Lernerville and Sharon.
Yep.
And most guys, there are some guys that run both, but there's a bunch of guys that run one or the other, and that's it.
True. Very true.
And you got Mercer who occasionally runs. Well, they run.
Yeah, Mercer runs small blocks weekly,
blocks,
right? So does Sportsman Speedway. They run small blocks.
Right.
Kyle Fink wins a lot out there, and the only reason I know that, It's because of the wins list on my Dirt Track Digest app.
Yeah, you see it.
A couple other topics that have come up here. The ESS Speed Week.
Oh,
Invaders. We're
What's
talking.
that, first week or second week of July?
Yeah. So this
What
week
is
we're in
it?
Ohio. Then the next week it's ESS Speed Week. Starting on the SUNY Canton Speed Week starts
What's the whole week of-
Wednesday at the Sprint Car Shootout at Rolling Wheels Raceway, which is in the
So-
dirt modified northeast section on
So-
our forum. If you want to read about it.
So Rolling Wheels, July 3rd is the first night of that.
Yep. And then the next night we move over to Brewerton on Thursday night. Then Friday night we're at the Canandaigua Motorsports Park. Then on Saturday we're at the Fulton Speedway. And on Sunday we cap it all off with the Utica Rome Speedway. All events are $2,000 to win. And I'm going to be a homer here for a second, John. So now that you know the definition of that word, Make sure
the
you
whole
buy-
homework thing, I just
make
don't-
sure you
don't
buy
get
a
it.
SUNY Canton Speed Week T-shirt.
I assume Johnny's running.
That's a Mike Mallet promotion.
I'm,
Brett Dale promotion at Accord coming up.
Yes.
I assume Donnie's running the souvenir trailer.
Don? Yeah, Don will be in the souvenir trailer.
Yeah, he'll buy one now, right?
Yeah.
Did that pretty much seal the deal for you?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, think about it though for a second.
The only one I'll see is the Rolling Wheels deal.
Yeah, you'll be there.
I'll be
right?
working that night.
So you might not even see it.
Well, I'll see a little bit of it. I can see the track 1 and 2
Yeah. Oh, good for you.
from the pit gate.
Yeah, I'm looking
I
forward
can
to
see
Speed
more
Week. That's going to be
this year
awesome.
than I did last year.
And we're looking to have a lot of URC guys to come up. I heard Dave Ely is coming up to run the whole deal.
That'd be cool.
Robbie Stillwagon is supposed to come up and run some of them.
He's been in a lot of the ESS shows.
Yeah,
this
he's been to
year.
a few. Yeah.
Good guy, too. Still wagging 89.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Who else? I know there's like 3 or 4 guys from that whole
Hey, by
from
the
that
way,
area, that neck of the woods coming up. Plus, I mean, you throw in everybody else because the Patriots are off,
Yep.
so there's no racing for them that week. So we
By the-
should have good fields of cars at all
You
those
think
races.
Holland will show up?
Oh,
yeah, he was at Lebanon Valley Saturday.
He'll definitely be there.
Was
oh,
he?
yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of those shows are right around, you
they're all in your
back.
backyard. I mean, that's what's awesome about it. It's
Yep.
like, bang, here it is.
Yeah, you got all the right tracks.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
really got all the
I
right
mean, you're
tracks
within
for
an
it.
hour and a half of each other every race.
Yeah,
so.
when's the next time Holland's going to be able to run 5 nights
In Central New York?
In Central New
Right.
York again.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, his shop's right in Auburn. So it makes
it's
a
awesome.
ton of sense for him.
His
Your
shop is in Auburn?
yeah.
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 Ah,
Yep.
did not know that.
He's
Yep.
from Union Springs, which is
Yeah.
right near Auburn, right?
I know Otto's big buddies with him. He's run his
Yeah.
car a couple times.
Yeah.
Sure. I think the way that mini tour within a tour, that whole deal, I think the way it's mapped out is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's
Just
cool.
kind of a natural fit, you know what I mean, to the whole.
I'm
the way the
hoping
whole
it
week-
works. I mean, we did it last year, kind of. We had 4 races in 6 days or something like
Yeah.
that. So this year, I mean, they stepped up. Dean stepped up, and we got it done. And
And it gives,
I've been bugging him for.
gives a lot of the Canadian drivers an opportunity to stay for the whole
Once
time.
you're here,
too.
you're here.
Yeah.
That's what's nice about it. Once you're here, you're here. I mean, that's a tough week, though, because we start Saturday, Sunday. We're at Merrittville and then Humberstone this coming weekend. And then, not this weekend, but the following weekend. And then we're off for 2 days, or 3 days. What is it? We're off the Monday, the 1st, the 2nd, we're off. And then, Wednesday, hammer down.
Bam.
So, I mean, what is it? It ends up being, 7 races in 9 days?
Good Lord Almighty.
That is awesome.
That is very cool.
I like it.
Yep.
I like it.
On
Well,
the topic of Patriots, anybody know how George Suprick's doing now that he's home?
Haven't heard a thing.
No.
I
No.
read somewhere, I believe he's out.
He's out of the hospital. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's back home. He's been released
That's
and
good
been
enough for me.
under pretty strict instructions to relax, lay low, and take your time and get yourself back together. But I haven't heard anything more than that.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything either.
I hope he's doing well. I like George. Good guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
George is a real good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
Let's
Been
look
around
at
a
some
long
other
time,
topics.
too.
Are there too many midweek shows?
Too many midweek shows? I don't know.
Not for me. 'Cause
Depends on who you ask.
I think there should be a midweek show every day of every week from June until July, and then August.
I do too.
But then again,
365 days a year would be nice.
Yeah, but again, I mean, at some point, while we're talking about it, why is there not a modified speed week in New York? There's an Appalachian Mountain
It's
Speed
called
Week,
Super Dirt Week.
but it's not though.
That's
It's not the same.
That's not a traditional.
That's
speed
not a
week.
speed week. That's we're all at one track. That's not speed week.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you are because
You're
it's-
not though.
Cut
You
the
got
satellite.
satellite shows. You got
Okay,
satellite
where else
shows.
are
There
the
are
big-
satellite
No,
shows,
no,
but
no.
everybody's camped at the fairgrounds.
Where do the big
Nobody
blocks?
moves.
Where are the big blocks racing other than Super Dirt Week at the mile?
Well, they have the last chance races. Those
Okay,
are big
one
block events.
one at Rolling Wheels.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay,
I get what you're saying.
there's no modified speed week.
I get what you're saying.
Oh yeah, you
I'll-
can't, I don't think you can count
5 mile
5 mile
point.
point.
5 mile points. Big
5
blocks.
mile point.
It's combined.
Yeah, but
You can
still.
run your big blocks
Okay,
if you want.
so there's 2 races for this entire speed week other than at the mile, and they're all run at They're two separate tracks on the same night.
The point is where it's different is that everybody's camped at the fairgrounds. You're stationary.
Right.
There isn't moving from one track to another.
You don't have the traveling
night.
gypsy syndrome.
I want a speed week for modifieds. That would be awesome.
Wow.
Let's take it up.
We've
Sprint cars and modifieds.
We've talked about it a lot. I don't know
Let's
why
do
there
it.
isn't.
Why not?
There should
ESS and then modifieds on those nights. I think the major drawback to holding everything back of us doing a speed week is any two tracks working together.
Right.
To say, hey, I'll give my guy Saturday
That's where the
off.
problem lies. You need to
Nobody will
work
do
it
it.
all out.
Yeah,
And that's the hard
That's
part.
true. Unless
Yeah.
everybody ran a specials only format and did it a
Well,
Tuesday,
actually,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
well, let's be honest. You could do it this week because if you think about it, if Fulton's off, okay?
Oh, my gosh.
So
yeah.
it starts last Saturday at Fulton. I work out a deal with, say, Fonda. Say, hey, can you give your guys the night off? So if all the tracks that ran American Racers, let's say they got together. So you go, Friday's the night off, or we can even kick it off Friday, whatever you want to do.
Start with Malta.
You'd want to kick it off on a Friday.
Well, you can't. Malta's got Hoosiers. So
Hoosiers.
if you're
Yeah,
looking
'cause they're dirt, right.
American Racers, because there's more of those tracks in the eastern part. I'm thinking specifically eastern part of New York. Now, if you wanted to, you could start on Friday night Glen Ridge, or you can start a Saturday at Fonda. Then Sunday go to Utica Rome because nobody competes with Utica Rome on a Sunday. Then Monday you'd have to find somewhere to go. I don't know, where would you want to? You go to Brewerton, you can go to Fulton, you go to 5 Mile. I mean, you got all those
yeah,
options.
typically, if you got a
I-88.
speed week date, you're going to have that weekend off a lot of times.
Right.
Anyway. You can take the weekend off if you're going to get a speed
Right.
week date.
So you get a speed week date. Let's say I-88 gets a speed week date on Monday. So they're going to take that next Friday off. So
Right.
then, then Tuesday night we can go back. If the track wants to book two, I mean, in Pennsylvania, Port Royal or Lincoln or Williams Grove, sometimes they have 2 speed week dates.
And it doesn't, to start out, it doesn't necessarily have to be your big, I know everybody wants the big name tracks like a Canandaigua, a Fonda, a Utica Rome. It doesn't necessarily have to be.
If it proves
start out that
successful,
way.
if it proves successful
they'll
at the
jump
small
on board.
tracks, they're going to jump on
Absolutely.
it, or they're going to make
You
something to
start
fight
out-
it.
You start out with those little name tracks who need the publicity and that kind of
As
a
long
show,
as all the shows are 5,000 to win,
like an Afton or whatever it may be.
and there's enough modifieds to support a show at each one of those places.
Heck yeah, there is.
But you got to keep the price down for the fans.
Yeah.
That's the key. I mean, I think
So they
You
can
know
do
who's
the
the
deal.
guy that could make this happen?
Brett Dale.
Yeah, we all do.
You got
Yep.
it.
We all do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that would be awesome. You know what I mean? Then
It
Wednesday,
would be.
Thursday, and then Friday night. Even if Friday night, if say Brewerton said, okay, 88 had Monday night, we're gonna go Friday night, and then Saturday night, where Fulton and Fonda's off, or we're at Fonda and
And
Fulton's off.
The only
Right.
the only downfall or the hard part would to pull this off, and I'm not saying it's not impossible because it certainly is possible. If you really want to do it, you can make it work. But where you have open dates, unfortunately, is it like the beginning of the year? The problem is not a lot of people with school and stuff. It's hard to travel for a lot of people because maybe the kids are still in school. Like
Yeah,
Mike,
but this coming
Mike is
week,
still
most
a
everybody's
teacher.
done.
But I'm saying,
This
Well,
Those-
ideally,
those were the
ESS
prime-
has
the
the best
prime
week,
dates
the
are.
first week of July. But that's why Pennsylvania Speed Week is the first week of July.
Right.
So
Well,
you
that's
would have to
that's
personally,
what
what I
I'm saying.
think
The
you have
prime
to
dates
do.
are early in the year, but you can't use them.
I think you have to
unfortunately.
work around this now. Like I would not run it the same week as Pennsylvania Speed Week.
No. That's
because
suicide.
then you're not going to get any people to come up from PA. Like
No.
you wanted to make it so it's like a like Dirt Week
gotta
type
stand
event
alone.
where people are going to come. Right.
You just got to stand
Right.
alone.
You know.
No, I wouldn't want to
So-
run it. I wouldn't even want to run it. I know it may not affect a lot of people, but I wouldn't want to run it against Ohio Speed Week, even though that's sprints and it's Ohio. I still wouldn't want to do the same time.
You want to. I mean, so basically,
You
you're
want it
looking
to
at the
stand
second
alone.
week of July. Is what you're looking at.
I think it's perfect timing too. That time frame is perfect.
I think the Hall of Fame should jump on board and make this a reality.
Make this a
Hall of Fame
reality.
week.
Yeah, Hall of Fame week.
Hall
Have
of
one of
Fame
the
week.
races.
The problem is
Have
you
one of the
don't
races
need-
at Weedsport.
You don't need just strictly help from your tracks. You also need help from your series too, whether it be Dirt
Now,
Car
here-
and RLC. You
here's
need
what's
help from them,
interesting.
'cause
We're
they look at
almost-
those dates to schedule their shows too.
Right, you're almost at a Speed Week now, on the week of the 9th, because Sunday, Utica Rome races, then there's day off, and then the big show, 5, is at Albany, Saratoga on Tuesday. Wednesday, Utica Rome has a show. Thursday, there's nothing but Expo Raceways running the BRP, but
BRP
somebody in New York could book a show there. And then, your regular Friday, Saturday, Sunday night tracks again.
You start out. I would like to see it even real diverse. I mean, like you get tracks who need the publicity, need shows. Like for an example, you mentioned Afton. You talk about maybe Delaware International. If you work down that way, if you end up in PA and then maybe you go to not Delaware International. I'm sorry, I meant to say Georgetown.
Georgetown.
Well, here's the problem. You're not
Georgetown is a place that could use a show.
Yeah, but
like
you're not
that
doing
right
a
now.
modified Speed Week where you're
Yeah, I
running
don't-
one race at Accord and one at Georgetown. I mean, the only way for that to work.
I think I know what you're saying. If you start at Accord or something in that neighborhood, and
but that's
end
not
up,
in the neighborhood. That's 4 hours.
No, let me.
If you
Finish.
work
If you work your way down,
or
I mean,
are you strictly talking about New York State?
I'm talking New York State.
Okay, well, that's a little bit different. I feel
Because if you
want
want to include the PA guys, you need to work into that region.
You
too.
start Accord
because we are so regional.
Accord 5 Mile Point, then a race in Pennsylvania, a race in New Jersey.
But here's
and
the
then finish
problem.
in
If you're
Georgetown.
strictly New York, you're not going to get those PA guys to come out.
Here's my thing, though. You start doing that, you start pushing it in the PA and all that. Those tracks are not going to give their modified Saturday off.
Nope.
You've got to get 6 or 7 tracks that are willing to work with you. That's the goal, which is almost
there's two
impossible.
different
Why does it have to be at Grandview or Big Diamond?
But where else are you going to go in Pennsylvania? Williams Grove?
You never know.
You're not doing
You
those.
catch the right track.
Susquehanna.
You catch the right track on the right day. You never know. There's enough tracks in Pennsylvania.
Right?
There's a lot of tracks. I'm sure there's a few you could think of on the top of your head you would like to see a modified race that has never had one. Port Royal would be really
But here's
cool.
the thing.
Wouldn't it?
Again,
Right?
the
I mean,
problem with all that is like
Bloomington.
now what would be
Wait,
cool is if you could do New York Speed Week is this week and then Pennsylvania Modified Speed Week is this week. Like you could split them up, do one.
Santa Clara.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But I just don't see. I think if you go with this, you got to keep it all Central New York. Or
Mike, I got it.
You know.
got it. I-88, then Rolling Wheels, Santa Clara, and Bridgeport.
yes, Santa Clara. Shut up.
Santa Clara.
Yeah, I get press releases from them in my email every day.
Santa Claus.
But no, but you got. I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, you're.
It's fine. It'll work out great.
You know, you got to keep it close together. As soon as you start
Might
saying,
need a travel day.
yeah, no travel days.
I think ESS kind of laid the roadmap.
Yeah, just
I
For
mean,
where
you got
the
it.
frig you go.
Just
See, the
Xerox
thing
that
that-
and put the
the thing-
modifieds
the
Go
on.
to
thing-
Trailway.
things that saves us
Yeah.
is that we
Bell
are
Fountain.
our own rules within our rules, so
Yep.
we don't have to worry about track tire. That's what saves us.
Farmers.
Because that would you shut up with that crap? My
Farmer
God.
City, Illinois.
Look at this. Chris is naming all the tracks that he actually knows of that don't run demolition derbies.
But they should.
How's that water, Tiger?
They damn well should.
Yeah, right.
and Neil brings up the point that, like I'm banking up. There's so many people that run the same night.
Yep.
You have to get certain tracks to just get on board with it, and that's that.
Well, yeah, of course. That's first and foremost. You got to get
Yeah.
tracks and your sanctioning bodies to work together.
Yeah. Well, you're
You
not
gotta
going to
make
get
sure you
sanctioning
don't-
bodies.
Well,
You're not going to. That's
yeah,
not
but
going to
you
happen.
can't run against a Super Dirt Series or an
easiest-
RLC event. You got to make sure they're on board.
Well, the easiest way to go. Well, hey, that's their choice. If they don't, I mean, it could be an ROC event if that's what they want to do.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You got to get them on board.
But I mean, I would stick. I mean, if it's me, I'm sticking with the American Racer tracks in the East. Now, if they want to do like a 358 modified speed week out in Western New York, they could do that at Ransomville. I mean, Ransomville's got their
Okay,
big shows coming
would you
up.
agree that exists?
What's that?
358 Speed Week. Because of all the small block races that happen during Super Dirt Week. Would you...
That's kind of like that, but
But again, that's as close as we got. But it's not really
it's not the same thing.
because you got to be in a different location
and
every
you're saying
single
that
night.
you're saying that
You're not. You don't have a stationary hub, and then everybody feeds off the hub and goes back to the hub. No, you got to have one track here tonight, another track tomorrow night.
the difference
The
between
whole train.
It's
whole
a traveling
caravan
road show.
moves
It's a
to the
traveling
next
road
track.
show.
Yeah, I mean that's the difference between Super Dirt Week and what you're describing.
Right.
is
Right.
Super
There's
Dirt
a
Week.
central
Super
hub.
Dirt, yeah, Super Dirt Week is
Everything
Super
revolves
Dirt Week.
around the mile.
There's a week of racing that's
Yes.
got all sorts of different varieties of racing.
Yeah.
Spanning between a Tuesday and a Sunday. You want a traveling road show.
The other
that
thing that
goes-
sucks about that, I think it's much more difficult. Not that there's not a lot of people there, but it's much more difficult for people to take a week off in October than it is to say, let's take a week in July and go to Modified Speed Week. Or let's work my regular job and go to some of these races. Whereas, because Super
Yeah.
Dirt Week, a lot of stuff, like I don't get to go to a lot of the stuff that's during the day
Yep.
because I can't take the time off.
Right.
Whereas, obviously in the summer, I have that option. But if all the races are at night, anybody that works a normal 9 to 5 can go to those races. Because if you do it right, you're all within an hour, maybe 2 hours of Central New York.
Right.
So I mean, I think it would be awesome. But
There are only
Wow.
3 weekly 410 tracks in Pennsylvania. 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday.
yeah, you know that.
I'm just
There's
kind
there's
of reading the
ton-
comment.
actually-
There's a ton of racetracks in Pennsylvania. They
Actually,
just don't run modifieds.
Lernerville runs modifieds weekly, as does
No, it says 410 tracks. 410
Lernerville
tracks.
runs 410s every week. So does Mercer.
Yep.
Does that count my?
That counts as Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at that, kind of thinking about it. That's all.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously it's much more difficult. But if you look at Pennsylvania Speed Week, they get like
Peter
Grandview.
Spurs.
They get Grandview in on it. They get Big Diamond. I mean, they get a bunch of different tracks involved in it. And then you get the tracks work together because the thing is, if they work together, they all make a whole boatload full of money.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
and
That
that's
makes
the thing.
way
we gotta
more
learn.
sense.
Sure.
So if you get it to work out in a small scale in the beginning, and it proves to be very successful, then other people start to wake up, and they will jump on board eventually.
And I got to
I mean,
think the fan base
Pennsylvania even
following
has
that
a
around.
600 speed week.
Yeah.
For the 600 micro sprints, they have a
Right.
speed week for them too because it's so popular.
You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
The Knoxville Nationals, it's called Southern Iowa Speed Week, and they run for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Speed weeks, yeah.
It's just
Wow.
The difference is it's two different tracks.
It's only 2 tracks.
That's it.
Yeah. It's
That are
Knoxville and
an hour and a
Southern
half
Iowa.
apart or whatever it is.
Yeah. No, they're not. 45 minutes.
Yeah. Right. I was going to say, it's not far.
Yeah, Jay, Hall of Fame's got to get on this.
That'll be our next priority.
Yeah.
You're right on that.
Here's the other thing: you got to get a sponsor willing to kick in some serious.
Oh my
coin.
God, you got to get big cheddar.
Because if you
Big
can get
cheddar.
like a $10,000 championship at the end of that week, that brings the guys to the table. You know, and again,
It's a lot
you
of
throw
money.
in the big tracks, little tracks. You throw in every track you can think of, and you'll probably have 10, 12 guys that'll do the whole thing.
Yep.
You know, and then you'll
that's
have
where your promotion comes in, and you start going out pounding the pavement looking for a big sponsor. If you would come out with a nice sponsor for like a champion deal, a point fund, give these
it's
guys
not
an
the same.
incentive to go run for this.
It's not the same.
To
People,
get guys
people
to
are
actually
willing to
do
throw
it.
money at racing at the local level the way that they used to be.
Well, I understand that.
no, it's a challenge.
I'm
Don't
just
get me
saying.
wrong.
Oh, it ain't gonna be easy.
If you throw the money at them, a lot of these guys would probably go.
It took Brett Dale, what, 4 or 5 years working with Pioneer Pole Barns before they got something to the point where they could put together a purse like they did there. And that was
he's
part of it. I mean,
yeah.
it wasn't solely it,
Right, but they had a lot of other commitments going on too. I think probably too. I mean, they were
Well,
involved
they helped
with
them
race teams and racetracks, and so I'm sure they have to look at what they do as a whole because they have other commitments. But once those commitments maybe expire, they can look in other avenues.
Yeah. So there's that conversation.
But I would love to see it one day. I know you, Mike, you and I have had this conversation several times.
Oh yeah.
I've often for years wondered why we don't have something like that because a lot of states do.
because
Yep.
too many
And it's very
tracks aren't
successful.
willing to work together.
And that's it. That's exactly it. There's too many minds in this region.
too many tracks or
that
too many
butt
lines.
heads.
Yeah.
They just don't see eye to eye and a million
what
different
about
things.
What about 10 years ago when everybody was under the dirt banner?
That
All
would've
these
been
tracks were dirt.
That
that would have been the
would've
time to
worked.
start it because
Yeah.
Glenn Donnelly could have pulled it off. He could have had grabbed everybody
No,
by the
yeah.
as a group collectively in a meeting and said, "Look, guys, this is what we're going to do. This
Yep.
is my vision," and they all would have bought in because they would buy into whatever he stated. And once that went away, it just everything changed. Everything changed, and that would have been the time to do it. 10, 15, 20 years ago, if he would have started something like that, it would have grown into be something like
We'd
what
still
we see
have it.
with
Yeah.
Sprint Week.
It would have
in
been a
PA
monster.
and in Ohio.
It would have been an
wherever.
absolute monster.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would have put that out there because it would have challenged. It would have been a midsummer Super Dirt Week, and it would have challenged that. Because
That's probably what he would have been afraid of. is
That's the factor that
hurting
everybody's.
that.
That's the factor that everybody probably does think about when this gets tabled. Is do you cannibalize your product at the end of the year,
But you're not.
which is going to be your Super Bowl? That might. I agree.
You're
with
not because
I
Super
don't
Week
think-
is still Super Dirt Week.
I still
You're not.
sometimes have a problem with we have our Super Bowl of racing for our dirt
Freaking
modifieds,
over.
and the season isn't over yet.
right.
Well, my whole
I
thing
still
is-
have
In
a
the
weird deal
heyday-
with that.
In the heyday, there were still
It-
3 races after that.
Right.
Yeah, and there still are races after that. It just they may not be part of the whole Super Dirt Series schedule. But they still have Brockville and Orange County after that.
Brockville and Orange
Charlotte
County are
now,
both-
yeah,
Charlotte.
And
too.
Fonda.
Charlotte is now the Super Bowl of.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, Fonda still has a big race after that.
It's-
No,
it's-
Fonda's is in September now. Second
Oh, they
week in
moved it back.
September. Yeah, they moved
but it's
it out.
still
Third
it's
week in
still
September.
weird to have your biggest finale isn't at the end.
Yeah.
Well,
now the question is Charlotte bigger than Super Dirt Week?
no.
It is for all the other divisions, I think.
Yeah.
I think
it's-
Charlotte is the biggest.
You've got all 3 major touring
All-encompassing,
divisions.
yeah,
of
all-encompassing.
World Racing.
Yeah.
group in one spot.
Use the lens that
It's
most.
it's gotten to be a big deal, but it's not Super Dirt Week.
Right. If you look at it through the lens of the modified fan, I shouldn't even talk about this because I've never been myself personally, but I guess my opinion as an outsider looking in, the modifieds are treated as second-class citizens when they go to Charlotte.
I think people thought
they're
that
a
in the
support
beginning,
division
but
there.
Yeah.
But it's I don't think
So it's definitely
I haven't
not
been
our
there since they did the modified.
It's
I went
not
the
our
first
Super
year and
Bowl.
they didn't have them. But
Right.
I don't.
But I think,
they were in the beginning thinking that.
I think.
but I don't think
mean,
they are
even if
treated
they
that
are the
way now.
redheaded stepchild, if you want to call them that, they still get a lot of exposure that they wouldn't normally get.
Sure.
I know.
So it's
I mean,
really
fans
not,
out there
having-
love them.
Yeah.
By having Syracuse before you go to Charlotte and having Orange County before you go to Charlotte gives you two major talking points at
Oh,
Charlotte.
it does. It just, to me, because Super Dirt Week is your, again, I use the term Super Bowl of our
That's
modified
copyrighted,
racing.
so we better use a different term.
Yeah, whatever.
Huge bowl game.
Because that's our biggest race. To me, I always look at it as a finale, like the World Series or the Super Bowl or whatever it may be. The
think that's
Stanley Cup
copyrighted,
Finals.
too.
That's
copyrighted.
your finale. You know what I mean? And it's hard to fathom that there's racing after that. Not that I want it to end then.
Okay, how about
It's
Daytona? Daytona's the
Well,
biggest.
They do it the exact opposite. They start their
season
season off
with it.
with their
Right.
biggest race of the year.
Yep.
But it's not in the middle or
Is Eastern
You know,
States is
before
Eastern
the
States
end.
bigger than Super Dirt Week?
No.
no.
You don't think so?
No. It's older.
I have more fun
It's older.
because I don't have to work as much. That's the thing. You're not running around freaking all day.
It's older
know?
and been around longer, and it's a prestigious race, but it's not Super Dirt Week.
I do love Eastern States. For the record, I'll say that for the first time in the month of June. Actually, I think I said it last week, too.
I'm pretty sure you said it every week.
I think I
we've
say
been
it
on.
Yeah,
every
pretty-
week.
yeah.
I love
Since
You
Eastern
last
find a way to get that in.
October.
You know what's funny about Eastern States? I'll go to it and I'll sit there and I'll be pissed off because something will happen.
Because that's how you are at every modified race.
Yeah, usually.
You get
No,
there.
I'm not pissed off at every race.
You get there and you're like, "Ah,
no,
how long before we can go home?
no.
Oh.
That's every race fan.
That is true.
Race
you don't
fans
go
are
to
the
football
only
game.
people that hurry up to get there and then they bitch about everything not going smooth and then they're there for 4 hours and then they're
and
mad.
They're complaining the whole time.
They complain the show's too long. Then they get home like, oh, I can't wait to go to the races again.
Yeah.
Like, you were just there and you were mad you were there too long. Like,
Football fans don't do that. They don't
no,
count
they start
down.
drinking at 9 in the morning and then that's that.
That's a little bit different ball game.
I don't know. Where's Balmus going?
Balmas is probably heading to the same place you.
What? You got to go to the bathroom?
He's so fired up
That's
about this super mod week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neil's making up some point. Neil could be on the show tonight. He's doing
I
a
know.
good job.
Neil's doing a great
I
job.
mentioned how the Super Dirt Series 20 years ago had, more dates. You didn't need a
Sure.
speed week, which is true. I mean, it used
It is
to
true.
have
You used to have. I mean, they
30
were busy.
races.
They were
Yeah.
busy during the trail week. During the week with the trail.
Yeah, you were all over the place. I mean, I followed along with that thing. You were in freaking Quebec, then you're in Cornwall, then Brockville, here and there, and all over the place.
Do you see it going back there?
No.
Do you see
No.
them getting
No
there?
way. Nope.
Do you feel any more encouraged throughout the course of this season, though, that maybe it could go back that
More
way?
encouraged? Probably not. I think I'm. Here, more encouraged, yes, but probably not under the dirt car trail banner. If a bunch of other tracks got together and made their own network and recreated what dirt had, we kind of had the conversation a little bit with Corey Reed that when we were at the Gator show, is that this would be a prime time for a bunch of tracks to get together and work together and put something like that on the table to recreate under a different banner, under a different name. They could do that.
Yep.
But I don't know if the dirt car series per se would be the one to do it first. Once that gets out there, if somebody else does it, I think that the dirt car series might be able to make a counterpunch, if you will, and rally because they would have some competition.
Right.
But at this point, they don't really have any competition, and so many people are, as we've all alluded to through the course of the evening, there's so many different minds that are butting heads that I don't see it coming together.
Wow, they almost have 40 cars at Brighton tonight.
Nice.
Whew.
Is it a mix of crates or?
It's got to
guys?
be, but Andre Rayom, I don't know who that is, won his heat race, and if that's a crate car, he still won his heat race.
CRC to come back might be too old.
Yeah, I mean,
Neil Witt.
I know what it is.
Neil's on fire.
I never went to any of those shows, but I know what it is.
Yeah.
CRC
CRC was a sponsor on Richard Childress'
right.
car.
Well,
and
and he
stuff
kind of
all
had,
the
what
time.
was it? US&A tried to do some stuff with the big money shows,
Yeah,
but
yeah, they did.
that didn't work because of their money. Their their business model was not effective when you pay the track X amount of dollars and you don't have the food and you lease the facility. Yeah, it never goes well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna need to rethink that.
Yeah, that doesn't work well. But So, yeah, the Speed Week, it'll be awesome. But we got ESS Speed Week, and I'm freaking excited.
I don't think the answer is another sanction, by the way. I'm going to go on the record saying that. I don't think we need another.
I'm not saying that it needs to be a sanction,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is a group of tracks willing to work together.
Some kind of unofficial, official affiliation of racetracks.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you have. I mean, I think you kind of have that with the American Racer Cup. You have your unofficial, official. You know,
True.
they're not Race of Champions tracks. They're just all run American racers.
Very true.
You know, that's about as official or unofficial of a.
I dig it,
official,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, that's where something like this would have to come from almost, is get American Racer on board with you, and then, go from there.
Wow. I don't think that's too difficult of a stretch either. I mean,
No.
a couple years into that relationship, because they've been doing the American Racer Cup for, is this the
Third
second
year?
year?
Third
Second
year
or third
or
year?
fourth?
Third year for American Racer
Third year,
Cup.
right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think it's that big of a stretch. I think after these guys are kind of entrenched and know, okay, well, here's what we've got, here's the pull we've got.
Right.
Maybe they're the ones that can pull something like this off with some kind of a point fund derived from the American Racer tire.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be neat.
I think that's the way it most likely is going to look.
Yeah. Now we just got to do it.
All right.
Jay, I nominate you for that since you like doing so much.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Tackle it. Make that happen.
I'm on it.
Okay.
I'm on it. Let's get them all together.
We expect something for 2014.
Yeah, we'll have a meeting.
Let's
in
start.
December.
Well, if we talk about it on here enough, who
Nothing
knows?
will happen.
If we talk about it on here enough, they'll realize, wow, that really is a terrible idea.
Unless that guy Neil
never know.
in the message board has like $6 billion in his back pocket, then I don't know.
No,
that
I
the
know
one
him.
listener-
He doesn't.
All right.
Yeah.
He's got 5.5.
If you want to make a small fortune racing, start with the big one.
I'm
Yeah.
going to be pulling for him to hit the Mega Millions,
Yeah.
and maybe he can put this thing together.
Oh, if I hit the Mega Millions, I'd do it.
I think John White ought to head this deal up.
See, I don't think you can take one promoter and have
No.
it. I think you need somebody on the outside going to the promoters,
Yeah.
I'm not
bring
thinking.
all the
I'm not,
promoters together and
I
have
wasn't
them
really
sit
thinking
down
of
and
it-
talk to them.
I wasn't really thinking of it as far as on a promoter side. I was thinking of it more along the lines of
Money.
a sponsor side.
Money.
That's
Yeah.
Why would he sponsor?
Greenbacks.
Because he's got 6 race cars with his name on it.
Well,
He's got 2 racetracks.
He's got 2 shops full of 42 different race cars, and he why not? Why the hell not?
Why not?
I got to kind of
He's-
agree with John.
They've
Why
spent-
not?
They've
he's
spent
got
money
2
on
tracks.
more frivolous things. So what the hell?
Yeah, but still, you don't get
Yeah,
rich by
but
spending on
still.
frivolous stuff. What's half?
What do
the
you think
reason-
racing is for him?
A tax write-off.
Yep.
No, he ain't making money. That's for sure.
No, it's a tax write-off. Everything with his name on it is.
But he's still got to pay for it.
Yeah, and then he writes it all off.
Right or off.
Listen, I know how that deal works
But he
because
still have to
every
pay
mile
for it.
I drive is 55.5 cents per mile, courtesy of the government.
He still has to pay for it though.
Yeah.
So you get a small portion.
You
back.
don't get a small portion
Whoop-de-deal.
back. You get a whole bunch back.
Yeah, because it's an yeah.
Oh yeah, buddy.
That ain't nothing compared to what he spends though.
I bet you it's
What do you think his budget is a year in
Well,
racing?
more than what we're spending every year.
Right.
Yeah.
It's got an M in it.
But I
bet.
guarantee it when you can. But here's the thing: you got to look at it this way: when you're a multi-million-dollar corporation and you're selling, like you can take, let's say his racing budget's $500,000. You just go $500,000, write it off. So that takes your multi-million-dollar corporation down to a $2.5 million corporation
Yeah,
instead of a $3
right.
million corporation.
Yeah,
you know what I
sure.
mean?
Yep.
So it all, in the end, adds up to help you. I mean, that's a simple way of saying it because I know it's not that simple in the grand scheme of things, but that's the easiest way to put it. Oh, way to go, Neil. 56.6 cents. Yes. I'm making money every day.
See? Money in the banks.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what do you think about that time?
Yeah, I
8:30?
think so.
We did a
Yeah.
whole hour and a half.
Time flies
Or an
when you're
hour
having
and
fun.
15 minutes without an interview.
Yep, we did good. I think we did.
I don't know if we
just
did good. We did a show.
Well, we did. We got a show.
Hey, by the way, we've lined
we
up
put one
Lyle.
out there.
Lyle DeVore will be on the show next week
Great. That'll be a
from
good
Lebanon Valley to talk big
Sweet.
show.
Nice.
And always Saratoga, obviously.
Have you haven't given us any updates on our picks?
We haven't
done
had
any.
any.
We haven't done
We
any.
haven't done any
And
picks
actually, you want to know something
recently.
funny about
Where
that?
where do we stand with that?
I can tell you where it is. I circular followed it today, actually.
All right, good.
What the hell does that mean?
I threw it away.
Throw it out, dude.
So we're not going to pick for
Nah.
Afton then?
No. You
Cole
want
Trickle
to?
was my pick this week, anyways.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Mahaney.
Yep.
Mahaney? Yeah.
Brian Weaver.
I'll go with the 126.
All right.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
Why not?
Why not?
Thanks
Good
for playing
choice.
at home, Neil. We appreciate you.
We're going to see you right back here next week on the 31st lap.
Sure
Well,
do appreciate you.
www.fingerlakes1.com.